A man stands in a cage. He's just knocked out the champion in 13 seconds. 13 seconds. The fastest knockout in UFC title fight history. He raises his arms. The crowd goes insane. He's 27 years old. He's unstoppable. 5 years ago, he was on welfare, living in his parents' house, collecting unemployment checks. Now, he's about to become the biggest star combat sports has ever seen. But there's a price for becoming a god. A price he'll pay with his hunger, his humility, and eventually his legacy. His name is Conor McGregor. And this is what happens when you get everything you ever wanted. 1. The Dreamer. Dublin, Ireland, 1988. Conor McGregor was born into a working-class family in Crumlin. His father was a taxi driver. His mother worked in retail. They weren't poor, but they weren't comfortable. Conor was a normal kid, played football, got into trouble. Nothing special. At 12, he started boxing, and something clicked. The discipline, the one-on-one combat, the ability to prove yourself with nothing but your own skill. But boxing wasn't paying the bills. By 18, Conor was working as a plumber's apprentice, fixing toilets, installing pipes. He hated it. Every day felt like prison, but he kept training. MMA, mixed martial arts, a brutal sport where you could punch, kick, wrestle, submit. Everything was legal. Conor was good, fast, creative, powerful, but being good in Ireland meant nothing. The money was in America, in the UFC. By 2013, Conor was 25, still living with his parents, on welfare, collecting €188 every 2 weeks from the government. Most people would have quit, got a real job, accepted reality. But Conor had something different. Belief. Delusional, unshakable belief that he was destined for greatness. He kept training, kept fighting, kept talking, and boy, could he talk. 2. The mouth. Conor understood something most fighters didn't. Fighting wasn't enough. You had to sell yourself. He studied Muhammad Ali, watched how Ali talked trash, predicted rounds, made people hate him or love him. When Conor got signed to the UFC in 2013, he didn't just fight, he performed. Press conferences became theater. He'd predict finishes, mock opponents, dress in expensive suits, talk about becoming a millionaire. Other fighters thought he was disrespectful, arrogant, too much. But fans? They were obsessed, because Conor backed it up. He won, spectacularly, knockout after knockout. He wasn't just winning fights, he was destroying legends. And after every win, he'd grab the microphone and declare himself the king, the best, unstoppable. 2015, he knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. Aldo had been undefeated for a decade. Conor became the featherweight champion, but that wasn't enough. He wanted 2 belts, something nobody had ever done. 2016, he moved up a weight class and knocked out Eddie Alvarez, became the first fighter to hold 2 UFC belts simultaneously. Conor McGregor went from welfare to the top of the world in 3 years. 3. The money fight. But then Conor did something nobody expected. He stopped defending his belts. He wanted something bigger, something that would make him rich beyond imagination. He wanted to box Floyd Mayweather, the greatest boxer of his generation. Everyone said it was suicide. Conor was an MMA fighter, not a boxer. Floyd would destroy him. But Conor didn't care about winning. He cared about the payday. August 2017. The fight happened. 4.3 million pay-per-view buys. Biggest combat sports event in history. Conor lost. Everyone knew he would, but he made over $100 million in one night. Think about that. From welfare to $100 million in 4 years. Conor had everything: money, fame, legacy. He'd proven himself. But that's when the real problem started. He'd achieved his dream. And when you achieve your dream, what's left to chase? 4. The fall. After the Mayweather fight, Conor changed. The hunger disappeared. The discipline vanished. He partied, drank, got into legal trouble, bar fights, assault allegations, arrests. The man who used to train obsessively was now living like a rock star without a tour. 2018. He came back to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. The build-up was UGLY. Conor crossed lines, attacked Khabib's family, his religion, his country. He lost badly, submitted in the 4th round. After the fight, a brawl broke out. Chaos everywhere. It was embarrassing. Conor tried to come back, won one fight, lost another, but it wasn't the same. The speed was gone. The timing was off. The fire had burned out. He kept talking like the old Conor, but his performances didn't match his words anymore. Fans who once loved him started turning away. The magic was gone. And the worst part, Conor couldn't seem to find it again. Because when you become a god, you stop being hungry, and in fighting, hunger is everything. 5. The price. Today, Conor McGregor is worth over $200 million. He's one of the richest athletes ever. He has mansions, yachts, his own whiskey brand, everything money can buy. But his legacy? Complicated. He revolutionized MMA, brought mainstream attention, changed how fighters negotiate and promote themselves. But he also became exactly what he fought against: comfortable, satisfied. A fighter who stopped fighting for greatness and started fighting for paychecks. The hungry kid from Crumlin who used to visualize championships. He died somewhere between welfare checks and private jets. So what do we learn from Conor McGregor? Here's the brutal truth. Success can be more dangerous than failure. When you're hungry, you're focused. Every fight matters. Every training session has purpose. But when you make $100 million, when you achieve everything you visualized, when you become the god you proclaimed yourself to be, what's left to fight for? Conor's tragedy isn't that he failed. It's that he succeeded too completely, too quickly. He got everything he wanted, and it destroyed the very thing that made him special: his hunger. This is the paradox of achievement. The drive that gets you to the top is incompatible with staying at the top, because staying at the top requires the same hunger that got you there. But success feeds you, makes you comfortable, takes away the desperation that made you dangerous. Conor visualized wealth, fame, championships. He got them all, but he never visualized what comes after: how to stay hungry when you're full, how to stay motivated when you've arrived. That's the real challenge of success. Not achieving your dreams, but finding new dreams worth chasing once you do. Conor McGregor became a god, and gods don't grind. They don't suffer, they don't sacrifice. But fighters do, and somewhere between welfare and wealth, between hungry and satisfied, between fighter and celebrity, Conor stopped being a fighter. He's still famous, still rich, still talks like he's the greatest, but everyone remembers the real Conor McGregor, the dangerous one, the unstoppable one. He died the moment he got everything he wanted. That's the price of becoming a god. You stop being human, and in fighting, being human, being hungry, being desperate, being willing to suffer is what makes you dangerous. Conor forgot that. And by the time he remembered, it was too late.